Hi YouTubers, just going to give an update on this clearing the decks project, and of course I've done a fair amount of clearing the decks, but in true fashion. Once I'd actually made some space, I had a load of British line infantry all PVA'd, so unfortunately I've started painting those, and so I'm going to show you what I've been getting on with. So what I've done is started on these guys, and I'm just doing the flesh undercoat now. Trying to keep it in shot. Yeah. So, getting all the flesh undercoat done. So I've got 18 of these, I think, at the moment. Okay, that's a better picture. Right, so doing the flesh undercoat, hands, faces, obviously. I'll do some close-ups of these in a moment. It's quite awkward this with the magnifying glass in the way. So this is going to be the first layer of flesh, because I'll probably need to do another one as I look around them. But these are very nice figures to paint, these ones, so that's why I thought I'd have another go at them, or do another lot rather, another batch. Try from this angle. So, right, let's try this one. Right, that's more like it. Okay, so it's very awkward this with a tripod, but you want to keep it steady, really. So there's nothing more irritating than the video jumping around everywhere and what I've figured, which I'm sure you guys have already figured out years ago, is that it takes a little while to set these things up. To get the camera in the right position. But it's live and learn every time, because I want to actually make better videos, and the only way you'll do that is by learning from your mistakes and watching other people as well, of course. So let's see, look. Next one. Now, I was doing a count of all my units that I'd finished the other day, and discovered I was extremely light on French artillery. In other words, virtually non-existent apart from one unfinished unit of 2 guns. So I decided to get the HAT French Line Horse Artillery, which I'll just show you the box in a minute. Let me just do this geezer here. I have to say though, I do enjoy painting these Italeri guys. Oh, there's another one. Do you like this one? Because they're just so nice to paint. What I tend to do is do the hands and faces first, because then they start to take shape, come to life a bit, and then it doesn't really matter what order I do, but I tend to do the trousers and jackets next, in no particular order, just depends what paint I've got ready to go. But I had a lot of grey left over from yesterday doing some painting, so a lot of these guys have got the trousers done first, trousers and the blanket rolls. Just because I didn't want to waste the paint, really. The thing is, the way I sort of break these things down is that every bit of paint that you do, whether it's hands, guns, trousers, jackets, whatever, every one that you complete brings you just one more step closer to a completed figure, because this can be a bit relentless sometimes. So to keep myself going, I'd look at it that way. I do like the way this guy is reaching into his cartridge box. And where's those other guys? Right, so let me just pause. So as I say, I was a bit short on, well, very short on French artillery, so I bought a box of these. You get 4 guns in each set, and you get some very good poses of figures, so you get 6 gunners. So you get 4 sets of those, so that's more than enough poses for anybody's liking, and I think they look rather nice. So that's what they look like on the sprue. 4 of those. I will say though, the guns are a bit small. So I've started on the figures. So you can imagine if you get all 6. Where's the other guy? I've got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's another guy hiding somewhere. The guy with the... Here he is. I'll just zoom in a bit there. So you can see the very nice gathering of figures. So I'm looking forward to doing 4 sets of those. I'm doing 2 first off, and then I'll do the other 2 . So that's that lot, and on with the next one. Finally got round to starting the Airfix Imperial Guard, and it was Blucher who pointed out, I believe, that these are buggers to paint. Now, whether he meant that they're fiddly or he didn't like the figures, what I found was that when I came to the priming stage, trying to put PVA, a thin PVA glue mix on them, it just ran straight off. And then I tried again, ran straight off. So then I broke the habit of a lifetime and put them in the washing up bowl with some washing up liquid and gave them a good scrub in there, and that only slightly improved the grip. So in the end what I did was I got some white paint and put some PVA in there, a sort of 50-50 mix, and made it quite thick and just dry brushed them over the top because I couldn't get the paint to stick otherwise. So now it's finally sticking, I can start getting on with them. So I will be keeping you updated on these. So I'm gonna do this first batch of 6. See what they come out like. Oh, hang on. When I say 6, I meant 7. So I've got 7 there. So as I say, I'll keep you updated on these. And seeing as I'm doing red on the jackets for these British infantry, then the red can also be used on the tailcoats of these guys as well. So that's for that lot. So I have 36 of these guys, and what I figured was that I can basically do a command unit of a drummer and a couple of officers and 3 grenadiers at the moment with what I've got, which is fine. But had to do a infantry command set where you get a sapper, a standard bearer, another drummer, a couple of officer figures, which basically provide the command unit that you're missing from a lot of sets. So I ordered one set of those. You get 4 of each. So what I can do is take out the grenadier units, put them in with the other grenadiers, take out a stand of 3 Fusiliers, and then add them to a different unit. So as time goes by, you just build on what you've got. And looking at what I've got so far, I was thinking this the other night, I've broken the back of where I wanted to get to, which was to have enough to form a balanced army of French on one side, British on the other. And then you can add to them. Because once you've painted a figure, that's it, it's painted. So the more you paint, the more you're building up your troops, like Pancake and his Grande Armée project. And of course, another thing that I'm doing is when I've got one unit done, I get figures of the same manufacturer, paint up those, and then you can have 2 units with the same pose, or say 2 poses run through it. So you could have these guys and the guys behind them standing up to fire as one complete battalion. But in the meantime, I've got, say, 1 battalion of 6 different poses in it. So when I've finished this one, I'll have 2 battalions with, say, 4 different poses instead. So there you go. Let's get rid of that bit of thread there. And that. Okay, so this is the last of these silly squatting poses, which is a totally ludicrous position. It'd be alright if he was sitting on something, or resting his elbow even on something, but this is a very silly position. Kneeling with one knee, you know, get that knee on the ground, laddie, would be a far more realistic pose, unless they're sort of crouching down behind a wall or a fence or a hedge temporarily to crack one off, as they say. But yeah, it's a silly pose. So he's the last one of that lot, which, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's monotony. And the thing is, if you're painting lots of these guys one after the other and you've got 36 of the same pose, it is relentlessly monotonous. So what I try and do is break it up by picking up a different pose, like this drummer for example. And it's sort of rewarding yourself in a way, giving you something to look forward to when you've painted yet another firing position. One thing I can't make my mind up about is indecision. Just can't make my mind up about that. Was it Oscar Wilde type quote? If there's one thing I cannot make my mind up about, it's prevarication, or something like that. The sort of thing he would say. Enough of that though. I need to sort out the gap between his legs there. Okay. So, clearing the decks part 2. These are the Uhlans, obviously, and I'm very pleased how they've come out. So I've done started on the basing. So they've been stuck down, and some filler has been applied and then washed with, where are we, not burnt umber, raw umber is what I've used for that, because it's a nice dark brown colour. Here we go. Where is it? So raw umber gives it that nice dark, earthy, wet brown mud look, I find. And I'll probably dry brush over that with a white with a mix of brown in it, and then start adding. I'm not going to cover the whole bases from now on. I'm just going to add clumps of grass, because battlefields are going to be fairly rutted, not pure pristine Premiership stuff. So what I've found is some old paintbrushes that I never used. Suddenly used those for static grass. Just cut off little clumps of that and stick them on, and then do more little blobs of PVA and drop some of the flock on there as well, and some of the some of the lichen, maybe a couple of rocks as well, just tart them up a bit. So that's that lot. And for the next one, so this is the completed Lancers, and what I may do is shift some of these lances to a different position, because it's difficult getting the units to stand completely next to each other. Not that that's a major issue, but it would be nice. So I may well do that. I might have a little bit more touching up to do on these figures, but they're essentially done. So again, as I'm basing the Uhlans, I will be finishing off basing these as well. So that will be 2 units of French cavalry out of the way, which will be a nice thing, because I didn't have any French cavalry completed until these 2. So that's that lot as well. When I have done these up, I'll put them on a revolving turntable or whatever and give you the full view, but I'm just showing you where I've got to at the moment with these, with my deck clearing. Okay, and next up, the next batch are my Devils in Skirts. So that's the first company all in the same pose, so I'll be looking forward to finishing that off fairly soon. I do have quite a few other others rather that just need finishing. Let me just stick these all out here. Oh yes, here he is. So moving along, I have these guys around the back who are done as well, so I need to add to those. But what I can do, as I was saying earlier about well, if I've done this in the right order, it's the variety that keeps you going. So if I can do another set of the same poses, maybe missing out the drummer because I don't need another drummer unless I feel the need, then it will break up the monotony. Monotony, the enemy of creativity. Okay, so that's that lot. Finally, these British Foot Artillery, using up the paint, the black, the raw umber on the bases for these, because I've spent the last couple of days getting the filler on there, which is a bit bloody awkward when you have all the guys actually stood on the bases. It's very fiddly. You tend to get bits of filler stuck on the figures or the guns themselves, so you can wash it off with a wet brush, or what I thought was, if some sticks to the wheels of the guns, what I'll do is I'll just paint that over as a bit of mud that's stuck on there. So a dab of brown with a bit of green on it, looks like a bit of turf, rather than going through all the because the thing is, once it's dried, it's on there. So I should be doing that, but these are also very close to completion, which is nice to see. So in the next update I'll be showing you all those units completed. So there you go. What I've also got is, I'm just about to show you that. I just need to do a bit of touching up on these and the gunmetal, and then I shall have, well, and the pom-poms as well, but I might leave them till the end because I've got another 3 complete boxes of these to do. So what I was going to try and do was get the same poses. So what I'll do is I shall actually I'll do the pom-poms because I can just add to them, can't I? So I'll get these based ASAP as well, so then I shall have yet another complete unit, because I have the whole 36 guys ready, and as I say, it's just the gunmetal to do and they're done, so that will also be nice to get those out of the way. Very keen on the flag bearer, because the eagle on there is a fantastic little moulding. Drummer's a good one, officer's good. So I'm very chuffed with those, and they're going to look even better when they're on the bases, so watch this space for these as well. And I think that's it for this video, guys, so see you at Salute if I don't do a video before then. Might be an idea if we sort of arrange somewhere to meet up at a certain time, like 12 o'clock at the bar or something, but let me know. I'll be bringing my son along, he's still very keen to come, so look out for those golden tickets. Wouldn't it be nice if one of us won the one of the golden tickets, which are 250, 150 and 50 quid I believe, but that would be beyond happiness, I think, if one of us won one of those. So see you later, guys.